G. So, you know what, man? I found some things in my life to be disgusting, you know, and no matter how you fit on each or whatever side of the prism, you understand, you keep some decorum about yourself. You understand, decorum is very, very important when we talk about intelligence. You know, a lot of people don't know how to keep decorum about themselves. And Cynthia G, that's a picture of her for many of y'all that are not familiar with her. And I also put the link to the video in the description box so you guys can go check that out, as well as my PayPal and Cash App in there as well. If you'd like to donate or purchase my single, that link's in there too. I looked at this video and I watched it twice, right? I watched it twice. I said, let me make sure I don't miss nothing. Let me make sure I don't misconstrue anything. Let me make sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing here, because I don't want to defend anybody unjustifiably. You understand? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I listened to the video, and this woman is describing Virgil Abloh. And instead of like most people are doing, I didn't do this story particularly myself because I felt there was so much death going on just in the industry itself. I just needed a break from those type of stories. So I didn't do the story, but I want to say my condolences to the family. I want to say that. This woman decided to take the narrative and berate this man upon his death. And I want to tell you, bitch, there's a special place in hell for bitches like you. Oh, there's a special place in hell for bitches like you. Oh yeah. See, this is the bitch that would go. How you doing? This is the bitch that would go to the funeral and show her ass because she felt like she didn't get enough money. You understand what I'm saying? This is the sisters in your family out of the brothers and sisters. There's always been the greedy, alienated, fucking desolate one. The black sheep, if you want to say. This is her. You understand what I'm saying? And whether she recognizes that or not, that's up to another question. But to disrespect Virgil Abloh, and I'm going to tell you what she said and the things she said, and I'm going to go into detail with it. So please sit with me. Because I was just talking about this with another vlogger last night named Nick and Night. These little girls are poisonous. Now, last night when I did the video with Nick at Night, Cynthia G must have put the video up maybe an hour or two before I had seen that video. You understand what I'm saying? So in translation, I didn't get to see the video, and I don't want y'all to make y'all think that I'm bringing it up just for whatever reason. No, 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 no. This disturbs me, and it should disturb you. This woman said, I'm not really worried about Virgil Abloh, quote unquote, no paraphrase. I'm not worried about his death or him. To me, it's another one bites the dust. And she said this not one time, not two times, but subsequently four times within the video to adamantly put her point across that I don't care about this man. Her premise why she don't care about this man's death, because he was married to a white woman and had mixed children. Meanwhile, you're unmarried and had a side baby by a man named Robert Perkins, right? What's up, Rob? I ain't got no problem with you. But fuck your baby mama. And if you defend that bitch, then fuck you too. And you got yourself involved in it. This fucking whore, because that's what she is, she's a fucking whore. Okay? This fucking whore met Robert Perkins in her chat room online. Okay? This is a black guy. Okay? She met this guy online. And this guy already had four kids already. Had four kids already by three different women. Three of them. Three different women, four kids. Okay, four kids. She went and made her dumb ass baby mom number five, and she was doing this type of diatribe talking about how she hated men of color in general. That's inclusive of the Latin men too. She's done enough talking about that too. So she has set a narrative, she has set a premise, and the thing that disturbs me every time that I see this fucking weave wearing, and it ain't about wearing weave, because I see some badass chicks wearing weaves. Bad weave of choice wearing country hillbilly ass bitch. This bitch is a hillbilly. Okay. If she came to the Northeast talking the way she talks out there, and I believe she's in Washington State, Seattle, somewhere around that area. If you came to here with that shit and you was walking in the streets, you wouldn't make it very far. You wouldn't make it very far at all. She talks the way she talks, and she makes the statements the way she makes them. And I notice she's another one of these coward ass blacks that if y'all really pay attention, okay, these coward motherfuckers, they sit in their rooms and they talk that shit. Now, right now, I'm inside, but as y'all know, I go on location everywhere. I be in the streets for real. You know what I'm saying? Well, where we gonna set up the studio? Right here. we in the hood. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The studio is wherever I have it. What's going on, Queen Keith? Thank you for being on the check-in, sister. Y'all stay with me. Notice I call Queen Keith sister because she conducts herself as one. Even if she might disagree with me, that doesn't mean that she has to go on a diatribe and create a whole channel specifically catered to hating men of color. And I'm just now starting to discover this. Now, I got to say this. Shout out to Red Supreme TV 1 and 2. He reintroduced me to this bitch because I forgot that this crazy, nefarious, vengeful, evil ass fucking cunt was still out here. And you know who put her on? After she told all that shit about men of color, do you know who put Cynthia G on? I'm not going to say put her on YouTube, but do you know who boosted her popularity? I'll give you a guess. Take your time. You're going to love this shit. Do you know who boosted? Can somebody write in the chat room who gave Cynthia G her real boost? Who was the one that made her relevant to everybody? A lot of people forget. I don't forget. I have an excellent memory. Does anybody know? Anybody? Boyce Watkins. Yes, Boyce Watkins. And we're not talking about Boyce Watkins now or Boyce Watkins in the beginning. We're talking about Boyce Watkins when he was on his height, his meteoric height, rising up. I'll give the man that. I don't agree with a lot of things he says or whatever, but since times have prevailed, temperaments and positions have changed, and only me and Boyce know what we're talking about there, right? But let me tell you something. She got her platform boosted by being on a Man of Color's channel. And now that I take a look at it and I look back, she used Boyce Watkins. She knew exactly what she was doing when she was going in there. She also refers to Virgil Abloh, and I have a hard time pronouncing his last name, and suggested he's homosexual. Says that this man who was married and had 3 kids, she always thought he was a homosexual, and she was disgusted with the fact when she found out that he had a white spouse. I was disgusted at the fact that you went and got one of your commenters after you spent a good 2-3 years doing the diatribe online and slept with him and had a side baby. Which that side baby is in the house with your neurotic fucking ass, and it's scary. It's scary. Do you understand any of the poison that this woman has inside of her that this whore is now putting in that kid? It calls for what she is. She's a fucking whore. Only a whore picks one of their fucking commenters that they know already has 4 kids by 3 different women and says, you know what, I know I talk a lot of shit about guys of color, but I'm gonna fuck with him. And I honestly and truthfully think she fucked with him on purpose so she could prove her point even more. Listen to this. This is set up. You don't like men of color, but yet you're a woman of color, right? You're not very attractive, okay? To be quite honest with you, in the school of women that walk in the room, I've been around model after model after model, where it be the girls from Sean John, whether it be the Ciroc girls, whether it be the video girls. 17 years I did in the business, okay? I know when I see a girl that got it. I know when I see a girl that halfway got it. I know when I see a girl that got potential to be it. I know when I see a girl that's just in the wrong type of clothes or wrong type of styling, and being that she changed her style, she'll be more popular than she thinks she is. You know what I mean? Dressing seductively or whatever. I noticed that there's one thing about Cynthia G. Cynthia G wants a man. That's what this really about, baby girl. You want a man. And you're not going to ever get one because of the pure simple fact you spend your time. How do you expect to get a black or Latin man if you spend the diary of your whole fucking YouTube shit bashing these men? Any man that mess with you would have to be fucking neurotic or as crazy as squirrel shit as you are. Any man. If I went back and I said, okay, let's put a hypothetical here, and I'm going to get back into Virgil Abloh. Let's say that me and you got together, right? Let's just say hypothetically, you and I got together, Cynthia G, right? And now my family or somebody in my family, let's say particularly a younger family member, finds out that you're on YouTube and you have this whole diatribe about hating men of color and hating black men, whatever, whatever. And it's going on and persistent and persistent and persistent and persistent. And now going into his fifth or sixth year now on YouTube. Because when you got what Boys Walkers, that was back in 2014, 2015. Okay. So you've been doing this for a while. You are a seasoned man hater at this point. All days left is to go get Wonder Woman and go to the and get the rest of the Amazons and start a fucking island. That's what it seems like y'all chicks want to head to anyway. That's a whole totally different discussion. I think I'll do a whole totally different cast on that one. This woman really wants a husband. She wants somebody that's going to be with her. It's a cry, just like a wounded cat in the woods. Bobcat, cougar. 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 That was just so convenient. Cougar. You're like a wounded cougar in the forest, and no one can hear your cry except for other wounded cougars laying beside you. It's pathetic. And sweetie, I know you got 83,000 followers, which lets me know in America there's 83,000 disgruntled women that believe just as much as this fucking cunt does. This bullshit she's pulling. First of all, she's not even fair. You called Virgil Abloh. You said you thought he was gay, but then you follow that quote up with him having a wife and 3 kids. Then you follow that up in your diatribe, and the link is in the description box if you guys want to check out the video for a little bit and then come back with them. I'm gonna be at this for a minute because evidently there are tears that I have to approach this shit from when dealing with these girls. Someone that like Meek at night, she seems generally nice, like a nice girl, so I could deal with her. I could speak to her a certain way. This bitch right here, Cynthia G, you need to have a pistol on you when you go see this bitch. Not to shoot her, but to put her in a mission and be like, look, shut the fuck up for a minute, all right? Let's just talk. Let's talk, all right? Calm down. She's one of those type of girls. I've seen this type before, you know, they're not quiet unless you put them in the trunk or something, you know? With that being said, and if anybody's watching, I'm not going to do anything to Cynthia G. I would never. But Cynthia G, I gotta say this. You're putting yourself in a position where you're gonna find men that want to do shit like that to you. And beyond and with your own admittance, because you try to it's real cute how listen, you have to be there's a passage in the Bible that says, beware of those with the tongue of the crafty, meaning that there are people, both men and women, that exist in this euphoria of life here that we have, and this gift of life. There are people that are on the earth that will use a clever tongue to fool you, meaning they have bad intentions, but they will use meticulous little words and things like that, and they usually use them repeatedly, unnecessarily. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I always spot a motherfucker out real quick, because if you use a word, y'all remember seeing I don't know if y'all remember seeing this or seeing reruns for it or whatever. And I might bring that character back. His name was Oswald, and he was on Oswald Bates. He was on the show called A Living Color. I used to watch when I was growing up. And it was if you're not familiar with Living Color, it's basically a show if you've heard of Marlon, the Damon Wayans, and those guys or whatever, because they're more popular. And they used to have a show where their whole family used to have a comedy sketch. In fact, 2 people that notoriety come from the show are Jennifer Lopez and what's this guy's name that did the match? Jim Carrey. He's the other one. They come from the show. It's a sketch show, kind of like the Chappelle Show. The Chappelle Show really took some notes off this show. They had this guy on there. He was in jail. His name was Oswald. Right? What's going on, Polo? This guy, Oswald Bates. And every time they did a sketch with him, he would be in prison, right? And he would purposely say words that didn't make any sense and then try to correct himself with another incorrect word. So he'd be like, well, my parenthesis, excuse me, my prototype. I think the significance, excuse me, snuffleupagus. He was really, when you break it down, That is brother polite after the conviction. But anyway, I digress. When you find people that use words unnecessarily like this, it's usually because they're trying to hide something or they're trying to sell you some shit. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to be able to make a distinction and don't get these people confused with people that are being straight up and forward with you versus people that are being deceptive. Because a lot of times you'll make that mistake and you'll mesh the two as two totally different people. These are two totally different motherfuckers. See, the motherfucker that articulates unnecessarily to try to push on a narrative of a point, that's the motherfucker you gotta watch. Because they'll do that with you personally in their personal life sooner or later. You understand what I'm saying? Sooner or later, you will become an object of their crafting. You understand what I'm saying? So to say, like, let me see what I can mold you into. It's like Shango or Badu or Voodoo, as you guys know it. And you know, the little doll. This woman and the women that she's influencing on her channel, all 83,000 of them, see, have one common narrative. They all want a husband. And I got to be the first one here to tell you, all you bitches don't deserve a husband. Some of you bitches are horrible. I have over 4 to 5 friends that are dead because of women. The wrong women. The wrong women. 2 of those friends I held very, very, very dear to me. Very dear to me. And there were, in one case, where the man was warned, don't mess with her. She a problem. Everybody in the neighborhood know what she done slept with this one, that one. Always got something going on, always in the middle of an argument. It could be a great night at the bar. She's the only one outside arguing with somebody. Because that's what she does. And then whatever slack that she's now created from her arguing, you're not responsible for. You see what I'm saying? That's how it worked out for a guy. And as a result of that, when my man got killed because of that. I always think about that shit. That's why I don't just fuck with any old type of chick. You understand what I'm saying? That's why really I don't have no kids because I don't trust them. I don't trust. I won't say I don't trust any woman because that's ridiculous. But I don't trust a good 60% of women. You understand? I think a lot of women are at this border wall right now in society, and I think it will pass, where it's like they all think with this mentality of pick me or pass me, one of the two, as you guys are probably familiar with those terms. And I think that's what Cynthia G is. There was no reason for you to go online and disrespect Virgil Abloh. You disrespected yourself. You think you disrespected this man, but he had already up on you. See, you can't compete and argue with him as far as career is concerned. The man worked for Gucci. Lost on that one. So he's more accomplished than you are. 2, which I bring up myself all the time, there's a stigma with men of color that are in professional environments, and that's both Latin and Black, that no matter how much money they make, even the education they have on top of them, even if they pass the mantle, just like Cynthia G had the mantle passed to her from Boyce Watkins, a Black guy, that your whole channel is operative because of Boyce Watkins. Boyce ain't never put it to you like that. If I was Boyce, I would send my brother over there and be like, look, go ahead and throw those couple pounds up in the big guy, man. Throw the little ounce up in the gun box or something like that. I get you. You know what I'm saying? I get you out of here. You know what I mean? But Boyce ain't he ain't a tri-stater. There's many ways to get this bitch the fuck up out of here. Because I saw somebody else had a change.org petition for her. Daddy, you only got 900 signatures. But try again, maybe. So you're not going to get a whoop by making videos and, trying to shame her or whatever. She has no shame. The bitch went out and had a baby by a dude that already had 4 kids by 3 different wives. Do you think this is a person that has a antithesis of dignity? Virgil clothing line Off-White is up there with Gucci. Exactly. Everybody said that. He was collaborating with Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And many other people. I'm aware of who he is, And if y'all want to look at designers, you know what I'm saying? I ain't just saying this because of Bad Boy, but y'all need to check out Groovy Lou. He's my inspiration for styling. Him, a couple other people, but definitely Groovy Lou. You know what I'm saying? That's Groovy Lou. He's been Puff stylist since day one. know what I'm saying? Still there with Puff to this day. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Groovy Lou. You know what I mean? He's got long dreads in his hair. In the middle on Google, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Groovy Lou was at the top of this shit before a lot of people. And Puff's baby mom and Groovy Lou, actually, Misa Hilton, actually have a company together. So you guys, as you further in your Google search, I can't think of the name of it right now, but as you further in your Google searches, go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Misa Hilton, Groovy Lou. That's Hilton. Hynton. Okay? Hilton. All right. So Misa, Misa. And Groovy, Groovey, Lou, Lew. Groovy Lou. So with that being said, this woman, if she was to walk in the room here in the tri-state, I'm talking about Cynthia G, the woman you see pictured there in the broadcast. Let me tell you what the reaction she would be. See, this is what I be talking about. A lot of you women, man, I hate to say it like this, and this is why I said nobody's marrying this broad. A lot of women out here have a delusional sense of who they actually are. And I like to always say, if you really want to know where you are in the looks department, you need to visit these four cities and they'll let you know. Those cities are New York, those cities are Miami, those cities are Texas, and those cities are LA. If you really want to know where you rank on the pecking order, go to those cities and flirt. You'll see. Now there'll be men that'll take you home, of course. There'll be men that send you empty promises. Baby, I'm gonna buy you a new refrigerator. You want that ring? I got you. You said you want crustaceans. But you gotta come over here. I told you we're going to Chili's and Fuddruckers later. And someone will go for that, you know. There's a couple reasons behind this, but ladies, this type of diatribe and creating these videos, it's only thing it's doing is collectively women that are engaged in this. I'm not talking about all the sisters, I'm talking women that are engaged in this. Only thing it's selling to people is not okay. Within your diatribe of friends, it makes sense. Okay. To the rest of everybody else's perceptions, you look fucking neurotic. Why the hell would I want to deal with a woman talking like this? You talk against your own narrative. You want to be loved. You want to be married. You want to have a solid family. And you have none of that. And you versus Virgil Abloh and the family he had with three kids that were well dressed, a wife that was pretty. That woman's not ugly. And we need to stop pretending that, listen, white people run the system, okay? From the times of Marilyn Monroe all the way back, the white woman has been the staplet in this white ran country is of beauty. And any other woman behind her comes in after that and tries to fill the void she has left behind in her dust. That's why it's always been set up like that. If you don't agree with me, I would only encourage you to look at the story of Gabby Petito, and it will tell you how America feels. And then put that versus how many black women, Latin women, Indian women, etc., minority women are now screaming, how come our cases were overlooked for Gabby Petito? Because Gabby Petito's white. Fuck you thinking about? So if you think you're gonna be a replacement for the white woman, black, Latin, Asian, Indian, because I see all those four particular groups chasing after white men. Well, if I get a baby bomb, I'll be fine. If you get a baby bomb, the same poor motherfucker that came into the relationship will be the same poor motherfucker leaving. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all better remember Eddie Griffin. I remember Eddie Griffin said the best is comedy special. He said, I'm a Brookshire. My daddy was a Brookshire. And I'll do you, the kids, and myself before anybody leaves here with a Brookshire. And he meant that shit. You know how many bitches signed up in the motherfucking lake? I've been with friends of mine, okay? Friends of mine that have talked openly. I don't know if they was just venting or what. Have talked openly and be like, yo, you know, I could take this broad over and mean that shit, at least in the moment. And every guy out here has a friend or has known a guy that has talked like this. If you don't, you ain't hung around no guys. You don't hung around a whole bunch of bookworms. You ain't hung around guys that go to football games and basketball games and discuss shit, you know what I mean, of importance in the masculine ecosphere. You understand what I'm saying? You was a motherfucker that sat behind a computer every day, all day, you know? These women that are joining Cynthia G, and I saw them in the comments, and not one of these women in the comments section had anything wrong, had no reprimand for anything wrong that was said by Cynthia G. They had no reprimand for her. Nobody said, hey, this is wrong for you to say another one bites the dust, and you glad that this, you don't care if this, you didn't say you were glad. I don't want to add words, but you did say this, and it sticks out. You said it 4 times. Another one bites the dust. What the fuck does that mean, bitch? Like, I really want to know that. And I don't listen, most of my viewers are women. Okay, that's first thing. I don't go around calling women bitches. I'm calling this woman a bitch. And if you don't understand why I'm calling her a bitch, it's because this woman, day after day after day, even if it's not called for, even if it's not even in the fucking the vibes, the float or anything, this woman repeatedly makes videos about how she hates men of color and she is a woman of color. So I'm confused. Make it make sense, Sway. I'm confused. And this latest video, you know, I can even deal with all that. But this latest video about Virgil, and this man just died the day before yesterday. His wife is grieving. He got kids. You're going to get some karma coming back to you. You evil Cruella DeVille bitch. You're going to have some real karma coming towards you. And that karma, I hope when it hits you hard. That's what Wendy Williams is going through. The same shit you going to see one day. See, the devil has a chance of molding and putting people in positions. And it might be a possibility that it might be somewhere in an available space to place you. Maybe they could set you up next to Vivica Fox. Hey, Vivica. What the fuck you talking about? I see another blogger saying don't even have black sons. You see what I'm saying? I see another blogger saying don't even have black son. What? I don't understand. You got to rewrite that for me, Queen Keish. Facts, you all point. What's their purpose to get us to hate black men? Sad times fighting amongst ourselves. No. I am Nevaeh. I'm not fighting against anybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. I'm not fighting against anybody. If you come to my channel, I don't have a daily diatribe of fuck this person, fuck that person, fuck this person. That's not what I do here. Okay. Let me be clear about that. That's not what I do here. But when I see certain shit like this and I see someone coherently, okay, this woman's not on drugs as far as I know. This woman's not an alcoholic as far as I know, but she definitely has some deep-seated emotional issues. And that's what I want to discuss. And that's why it took me so long to break this down. Because really, a lot of these women have unresolved fucking mental issues and trauma. And they're far worse than I could ever fucking imagine. And a lot of men are walking into these situations and they're seeing these women early on for who they are. And instead of being like, you know what I'm saying, telling these women, yo, I'm not fucking with you because of this, that, and the other. See, it's a lack of communication that creates these problems. Man, you got to start telling these girls, listen, I think you were kind of loopy. You ain't got to tell her like that, but you know, hey, listen, I don't think mentally we match. You know what I'm saying? I think you somewhere else right now. Try to be, you know, as coddling as you can. Try to coddle the situation. But I don't think you and I match. I'm not saying we couldn't match later on, but I'm just saying right now, where you at, we don't match. The second thing is, man, stop sleeping with these women. Stop sleeping with them. I don't care how fat her ass is. I don't care how big a tetas es. Tú sabes la gente latino. ¿Ok? En la gordita, tú sabes la mujer que la chicha, tú sabes esa es su chicha. No, morte. Listen to me. Y'all sleeping with these girls. They get emotions real easily. We ain't in fucking 5th grade no more. These girls get emotions. They start feeling you, even if they come in a situation, they acted all tough. I don't fall in love with nobody. I grew up with 2 women in the house. All right? Yes, they do. And easily. You know how many times I heard of a broken heart? He loved me. I'll be in the background. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. These girls are brokenhearted. And instead of knowing how to look at themselves and say, hey, what the fuck might be one? Listen, you got to think about it. If this one, I hate saying shit like that. Let me rephrase that. You got to really put this in perspective. Look at this woman and the man she chose, Robert Perkins. Look him up. I'll put a picture up of him. The man she calls a Dusty is actually looking like the embodiment of this guy. All right, this guy got tank tops on in all his pictures, scraggly ass, jail beard, and maybe that was just his look for then. I seen a couple of pictures too. He cleaned himself up. So shout out to you, sir. Like I said, this ain't about you, but it is a little bit about you and your choices of where to put your D at, unprotected, ejaculated, not pulling out, doing a disservice to the community. Yeah, and having babies by nutty bitches. We're gonna talk about you in a minute, Robert Perkins, the baby father of Cynthia G, baby mama number 4, with baby number 5 for you. And this is the bitch y'all listening to. I can't make this up. There's 83,000 women that are going over there getting influenced by this woman, and not one moment breaking down that small little equation right there that matter of factly just breaks open the whole fucking spectrum of her whole conversation and her diatribe. Right then and there, I would have been out, but instead, motherfuckers coddled this bitch. It's okay, Cynthia. We understand. It's his fault. It's his fault. And this victim shit, ladies, is a setup. I'm a guy. Guys invented strategy. There's a book written, The 50 Degrees of the 50 Laws of Power. It's written by a man. It's still been used to this day. Been used by the greatest of generals across the world. Now, one of those generals that this book was used by was a woman. The man who wrote that book, his name's also Robert. Now, we can sit here and pretend all fucking day if we want to, and we can act like Cynthia G ain't what she really is. A not even semi-attractive little girl. You're a little girl. You're a grown adult little girl. Your voice sounds like a grown adult little girl. And I mean this in the aspect of when you talk, she has one of those voices. I've met women like her before, that when she talks, she almost talks like she's crying, like she's whining. Like no matter what she says, she talks out a nasal passage. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of us up here up north do that too. We've broken it down to where people live in higher elevations. I've read this is where accents come from, evidently. When people live at higher elevations, like we live here in the Northeast, but she lives in Seattle, which pinpointed in a lateral sense, going lateral, horizontally, she's almost lined up where our states are in her state, if that makes any sense. So she's up in the hills too, because it's plains area. So we develop as a being around our environment, we develop different things. Some of us, our skin may change. Some of us, our noses might widen. One thing that consistently changed across the world is, and you can check this from people who live around the Himalayas and Chile and everywhere else, is their accents and their voices differ. And I think that's the reason you get her accent. But it's mixed in with this wannabe Hidden Valley white girl shit. And I'm like, them chicks don't talk like that. I dated white women. I've lived around white folks all my damn life, and they don't talk like that. So I've been noticing that not only her, but Nika Knight, the Paris Milan chick, and a couple of the other chicks that be online, I can always decipher the difference between them. Because they ain't talking like the Nika real. They ain't talking like the Crimson Cur, she real. They ain't talking about these black women. They talking like a black woman that wants to actually be a white woman. And I'm not talking about because you articulate words or whatever. I articulate too, but I keep my accent. You understand what I'm saying? I keep that pride because I have to be able to convey information amongst the people that I represent. You understand? And they got to be able to get that shit just like that. Because I might be trying to tell you something like, listen, it's a motherfucking bomb coming. We need to get the fuck up on out of here. You understand? Now, everybody ain't going to understand that. You know what I mean? It's like that joke that motherfucking, what's this? Said the entertainer did. He said, when y'all hear a noise, you be like, Come on, get Lisa in there, go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody run. Everybody run. Let's see what y'all talking about in here. I've never watched her a few times, but she's exhausting. I never checked her album for. Paris says Dusty's too. Well, Paris got it from Cynthia G. Cynthia G is like their great auntie. I don't mean you. I mean Cynthia's content is there's all definitely black women who do the opposite of her. There are a few, and I always explain that too. I mentioned my man Red Supreme earlier. Red Supreme was on his broadcast. Red Supreme said straight up, don't nobody on this channel go over to her page threatening that woman. Don't nobody go over there telling y'all gonna fight this woman or whatever. That shit I don't allow. Same here. Don't go over to a channel threatening her, telling her what you're gonna go do. What's up here? Don't go over there telling her what you gonna do to her. You mad? That's not gonna get her to change the shit. If anything, it's gonna make her go even double hard. And now she got some shit to use as a antithesis. You know what I'm saying? In her argument. So now you're stuck in a quandary because you're like, oh shit. I done just amp this bitch up. You know what I mean? She is a vampire, man. Classic vampire. She went over there and took a bite out of Boyce Walker's neck, like, let me go. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. She went over there and took a chunk out of Boyce Watkins and got her views up, got a subscription rate up. And now, as a thank you, she now starts a diatribe up talking about I hate these motherfuckers. But in reality, what you looking for is a sugar daddy, ain't you? Cynthia, let me tell you something, baby girl. I live in the city that Candace Owens is from. Stamford, Connecticut. She from right down the street here on Spruce Street. Candace Owens. Now, Candace, unlike you, is accomplished. Candace, unlike you, she talks in that octave. But Candace, like me, we grew up around that. You're a bitch trying to pretend like you grew up around that. But I can tell all within you that you're no more than a rambunctious ghetto broad. A rambunctious ghetto broad that has never been listened to, has never been taken seriously, has never been considered anything more than what you are. And I hate to say it, but you're not particularly the type of woman that's meant to get married. Let's put that down. Every chick ain't meant to get married, and every man ain't meant to get married. I don't mean in the sense of you can't find nobody. I mean in the sense of you're so narcissistic and so about yourself that you couldn't possibly marry somebody else and make them happy. You have no idea the conception of making someone happy beyond yourself. This can stem from a lot of things. You were a single kid. You understand what I'm saying? You were your mom and dad's only kid. So you ain't never had to share toys. You understand what I'm saying? You ever had a Happy Meal and had to give a motherfucker 2 fries? Tell me how that made you feel. You ever had a Happy Meals are small as shit. You got to give a motherfucker 2. You bitch. Guy or girl. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you bitch. I only got about 7 fries in this motherfucker. You took 2 of them? I'm down to 5, you motherfucker, you. I'm gonna smack the shit out of your ass with a Hot Wheel later. You be sitting around and shit. Saying, yeah, mommy, I want some ice cream and I want some cake, and if you could give me something else to it, also you just like, oh. Goddamn toy. Who the fuck you didn't want a toy? That's what taking my fries, motherfucker. These women that are like Cynthia G, and evidently there's 83,000 of them, evidently at least that much, or if you cut the dynamic, at least 40,000 of them that severely and extremely believe in her and and all that bullshit she said over there. I don't know what to say. The attack on Virgil Abloh, his family, his death, relating his death is to this another one bites the dust. making fun of this man's wife. This woman is grieving right now because she lost her husband to cancer. And we got this ugly weave wearing bitch coming out the woodworks. And I don't mean weave in a bad way, ladies, because some of y'all look real nice in that weave. You know, that silky number 9, that Brazilian silk 7. Look, it match you. This bitch look like she glued her hair on. It looked like she glued her hair on. I'm talking about like she looked like she just woke up and said, let me put this shit on. Him and that Elmer's, you know what I mean? And then did some of this after. You know, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is it. I'm sorry, I come from a time when women used to wear their real fucking hair. They took pride in wearing their own hair and different hairstyles that came with wearing that real hair. And then there's one bitch just threw out, well, it's easier to do it this way. And everybody just joined forces. Y'all need to go back to real hair and real asses. We miss it. You know what I'm saying? That might help y'all out. Real hair, bring back real hair and real asses. A 2022 movement. You know what I'm saying? Bring back real hair and real ass. And that goes for you too, Latin women. Going down to the Dominican Republic, coming back looking like fucking ants. You ever see some of these bitches? Some of these bitches look like they wear a diaper. I went to the Bronx. I seen this Dominican girl in there. Of course, because I'm always around, you know. Hey, what can I do? So I see this Dominican girl in there, and you could tell she just got back. You know what I'm saying? She was probably down. I said Boca Chica. Let me stop. She's probably working Boca Chica. Only Latinos gonna get that. She probably working Boca Chica. She's a server. She serves drinks for the hotel. Yeah. She serves drinks for the hotel. Ja. She serves drinks for the hotel. Maria doesn't sell pussy. She sells drinks for the hotel. Maria does not sell chocha. Oh, shit. For real. Regardless of the fact, a lot of women like Cynthia G have just not come to the fucking conclusion that you're just not that fucking attractive. I am sorry. You're just not fucking attractive, okay? There's no bad. So you're trying to convince us you're attractive, but that makes you even less attractive. You can't convince a motherfucker. See, listen, I believe I'm a fairly good looking guy, right? But there are some women that won't honestly and truthfully, you know what I mean? Fuck with me, and that's cool. I'm cool with rejection. I've had some badass women from different countries. Like I'm cool. Got pictures of them, everything else prove my point. And you throw on the fact that I worked with a record label for 17 years. I had more extensive reach to women that are 10 times beyond. Y'all talking about women from France, Britain, everywhere else. I'm still friends with this gay. I have tons of friends, literally, in Brazil, like tons of them. So it's like, you know, I don't have to. Obrigado. Thank you. So I don't have to force anybody if they don't see fit to or seem like they're attracted to me to make them want me. A litany of women, including those 83,000 followers she's got, seem to think otherwise. They think if I sit there and I bash and I bash, and this is inclusive of the men that do it too. If I sit there, and that's why I like Red Supreme TV and his diatribe, because he doesn't go with this the bashing. He does it like we're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? He come from a certain cloth. I know where you come from. I come from the same shit. Well, you have to you have to say it the way it is. You know? And I hate to say it, but some of you bitches is just not that attractive. And some of you niggas is not that attractive either. That's why you like this 85 minutes. Because without that, you couldn't get no woman. You couldn't get no woman. I could walk out right now. I ain't got a car right now. I can walk out in the street right now, talk to any chick. 70% potential rate. I'm gonna get a 70% potential rate. You understand what I'm saying? Now that could be from a litany of different races of women. Okay? Not every dude can do that. You understand what I'm saying? And I always see the example, and I'm gonna go into the dudes too, because the dudes are guilty of this shit too. There's a lot of dudes that's online that I see that keep throwing up these bashing videos every 5 fucking minutes, and that's your whole diatribe. Now, some of us in the MGTOW community, some of us outside the MGTOW community, but some of your representatives do look and sound like some sissies. All right, some of them niggas sound like some sissies. Sound like some of them motherfuckers want to have a sausage sleepover. You know what I mean? I ain't having no sausage sleepover. Okay? Not with the likes of those motherfuckers that are saying the shit. A lot of the men that I see at these sausage sleepover suggestion channels, a lot of them, well, you can just look at them and tell you pay for Vijay. A woman can look at you at a club, at any club in New York City or Connecticut or Jersey, can look at you and be like, oh, he paid for Jay. And the smaller the place is, the more you stick out. Now in Connecticut and Jersey, we got a whole bunch of bars and taverns. So, and that's what I've always grown up going to, bars and taverns on the shoreline here in Connecticut and Jersey. So I know where I see that moat, and a lot of the women, they see that moat too. Hey, there's Brad. Let's go in there and get like 30 drinks from him and don't give him no vajay ever. A lot of y'all that do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all, as far as women and men, have inflated egos. Egos that are not justified. See, we live in this world where people are trying to deduce reality and replace it with imagination. And it all stays consistent until someone comes and breaks that pathway. And that's called reality. Well, you say you're worth 30,000, you get 30,000 bands a week, and you're doing this. Study suggests you ain't, bitch. It's laughable. It really is laughable. You might not just be that attractive. And I mean, Cynthia G, you don't look like Halle Berry, okay? You don't look like Angela Bassett. You know, I'm talking about the auntie crowd, because Cynthia G look like auntie-ish, right? She look auntie-ish. I'm not saying she's old, but she look auntie-ish. Like her shape is auntie-ish. Her breast structure is auntie-ish. You know, aunties usually got that breast structure. They got that big V right here, that big V loop, and one titty go this way, one titty go that way. And this weird roll. And there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of women, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's just mature. But on some women, you got that auntie swag. Come on, auntie, we going to the store now. Ass look. You know what I'm saying? Auntie, get your chocolates. Ass look. Titi, your daddy. Let me stop. Is she young or older? I can't fucking tell. I can't fucking tell. If I had to make a guess, I would say Cynthia G has got to be about 43, 44. Because back then she was in her late 30s. So she got to be about 42, 43, 44, maybe possibly older. She's still young, relatively speaking. But I mean, what the hell? Like, I put the link in the description box to her video when she talks about Virgil Abloh. It really disturbed me. It disturbed me because of the simple fact this man just died on Sunday. It's not only Tuesday, so we're talking less than 72 hours ago. This man died, and it was actually Sunday night following into Monday that we found out that Virgil actually passed away. You see what I'm saying? And this woman pays everybody back, including the black community. But you talking about, oh, well, he didn't, that money, that 20, she pointed out his money. You know, these niggas always out here pocket checking. But one thing I will, and I'm going to include in my diatribe in a minute, that she said that was correct. I will give her that. But it wasn't her words. It was actually spoken from somebody else, and she was just paraphrasing them. But I will give her that one. She talks about the $20 million that Virgil Abloh left behind. This black man left behind to his wife and kids, his white wife and his 3 kids. And ain't that what every man's supposed to been doing? Because I thought at the end of the day, that's what we were supposed to be doing, though. So now you judging this man for being a man because he wasn't a man to somebody you preferred. That's ignorance. That's not even ignorance, because that's not even lack of knowledge. That's just plain stupidity. to say some shit like that. It's irresponsible. It's incorrect. And what man out here doesn't want, the whole reason I took it upon myself to create this LLC with these goddamn shipping container homes. And even though I ain't got a home yet erected, I still got an LLC and I exist. That's matters more than any fucking thing. Okay. So I have a digital imprint. I have a website you can go visit. Even though it's in construction, the motherfucker's there because what's the name? The HTML5 takes you right there. The end of the date and the end of the day, what is expected is, and this is one of the main reasons I came back home to the town to Connecticut, because I was like, there's no way in hell I'll raise my kids in New York. Not 2021, not 2022. Hell fucking no. Ain't no way. And if that's my plans, ain't no fucking way in hell I'll raise some kids in New York City. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what you think. Okay? Take it how you want to. Ain't no fucking way. And with that being said, I had to look at Connecticut and I said to myself, okay, well, this is where I'm going to build my home and I'm familiar with it. I got friends here. You know what I'm saying? People that know me since I was a kid here. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's take it on back to the crib. You know what I mean? So I came on back to the town, got here, and that's all that's been in my mind. Having kids and moving forward and having a wife or whatever, which I have neither one of those two right now. I'm reestablishing myself right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm completely starting my life over. Like I don't even know, like to the depth of it. If you want to know, go back and look at some of my older videos. It'll be self-explanatory. And if you like to donate, $STRINGERBELL 80. That's Stringerbell 80 on Cash App. And there's also a PayPal link in the description. There's also a link to purchase my song. And there's a trailer to my song also in the description box. And also you'll find a link to Cynthia G's video that I'm talking about right now concerning Virgil Abloh, his passing, and her mocking him and his death. It's sickening. A lot of incentive was put into me. And with a previous person that I was dating, I put it into her son. I said, yo, don't worry about no house. It wasn't my kid, it was her son. I said, don't put no money into no fucking cars. Don't put no money into no fucking dope ass clothes all the time. Save your money and make sure you get the down payment and get it as early in as you can. That's what I left him with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Charlie. I know you probably still watch me from time to time. Love you, kid, honestly. Good kid, real good kid. Real smart kid, too. Shout out to little Charlie, man. I don't, let me tell you something. I don't know where this woman came from, why she's so mad, why she's so upset. I don't know why the dozens upon dozens, hundreds upon hundreds of women that follow her feel the same. But one thing I do know is this. You have to be an asinine, below average, real piece of fucking working shit. Like you got to be the bottom of the barrel of fucking crabs if there ever was crabs in a barrel. Because these diatribes that you women and men are putting up against each other only spread you more apart. And pretty soon, I mentioned it last night, I'll say it again, as nature calls, and we all are mammals if you didn't know that. To be more specific, an orangutan and a chimpanzee and gorilla share 98.9% of our DNA. They are cousins. They are cousins. Why you think it's so easy to teach a monkey how to do shit? They think just like you, make same expressions like you. The babies will coddle and like to be held just like a human baby. Though they're not human, they share your DNA. Subtle differences, 2.1% difference. Statue, hair, brain size, things that are significant but small in the grand scope of your DNA makeup and structure. Cynthia G, I think there's a man out there for you. I just don't think it's the caliber of men that you think you deserve. And the men and the women that are on making these videos, I even go with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, I saw your earlier videos. You look like a nigga we used to smack and hold him upside down and shake him and see how much change you got on him. Boyce Watkins, you were the nigga we smacked in the back of the head and asked, yo, what you got on our sacks today? And you men have evolved. You men are older now or whatever, but I ain't never been that motherfucker. I ain't never been that guy. I ain't never been that guy. I had a nerd period. You know what I'm saying? But mine was shit. My shit was in silence and being an introvert. You know what I mean? Not heavily reading books and prioritizing watching cartoons and shit and staying isolated from everybody. I still have friends and shit. So if you want to say that, coming of age, yeah. You know what I mean? Coming of age, yeah. I'm talking about these motherfuckers in their 20s and 30s was nerds. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Both of them were successful in their own rights. But now you won't get out here with the rest of us. Now you won't get out here and see what the real world like, huh? And that's cool. But when y'all putting these bitches on like Brittany Renner, when you putting these bitches on like Cynthia G, what y'all gotta realize, Kevin Samuels, Boyce Watkins, you gotta be able to project what this shit might end. Because every bit as we holding that chick responsible for the shit she puts on her page every day, I gotta hold you responsible, Boyce, for putting that bitch up there. The same way I would hold Kanye West responsible for the slut walk. Because you put that chick Amber Rose in a position where she could have a slut walk. The same way I would say when I watch Karuchi's acting. Chris Brown, I can't stand your ass for putting that bitch on. Same thing when I hear Ray J's song, Wait a Minute. He put Kim Kardashian on. What the fuck? And Ray J still sees money and residuals from that sex tape. That's the crazy shit about it. He sees more money from that sex tape because he made it legal and sold it to Vivid Entertainment. He makes more money off that sex tape than Kim Kardashian does. That's how Ray J stayed. He got international sales on it, international streaming on it, and everything else. I said, this boy's a genius. Shout out to Ray J for that. But you still put that bitch in the way. There's been a lot of women put in the game by men. So when I hear a woman like Cynthia G, including herself, who was put in by Boyce Watkins, get on and say about Virgil Abloh, he's just another one that bit the dust. That shows me, even if your diatribe is, y'all need to shape up, y'all need to change, why the fuck would I? Bet you just said you don't care if I'm dead if it's not under the standards, and you didn't die under the guise and the standards and the measuring stick that I put out. As if I'm someone in society that can get direction, that can actually make shits happen. I said this as Cynthia G. I said, your life ain't worth nothing as a man of color, because you married a white woman and the $20 million that you have, it ain't come to us. It went to your kids and your wife. What kind of selfish hypocrite bitch are you? If that's the case, I hope you get a husband, and when he leave you, and when you die, I hope he leave all his motherfucking money to the fucking veterinarian that used to take care of the family cat, you bitch. How the fuck you gonna get on fucking live on YouTube and say some shit like that? Like, that is just sickening as fuck, man. And any woman that continues following this bitch after that, I put you in the same guys. You are worthless, petty, ugly, probably. Yeah, whatever we used to say ugly. Bitch, you ugly. That's the bottom line of it. A pretty bitch ain't got time to get online and complain about why men don't like it. I ain't never seen a pretty bitch. Pretty bitches put up shit like unbothered, on fleek, ghosted. Ugly bitches put up shit talking about, I can't believe somebody attacked my weight. Well, you're fat, bitch. Shit. This niggas out here that like fat bitches. I done had a couple plump chicks in my lifetime. Ain't nothing wrong with a plump chick. Shit, a plump chick know how to cook soup like no other. A plump chick can make you a big glazed ham at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing wrong with a big chick. I know some niggas got big chicks able to wife some of the most down-ass women. There's a man for you. Then that man may not be driving a Porsche. That man may not own a 4-bedroom home. But if you are as crafty as someone like Cynthia G, chick, you are not using your full power because you have the motivation to change shit. But you sitting in your little dusty ass bedroom like you always saw somebody dusty. Your bedroom dusty, bitch. The decor of that motherfucker ain't changed since 5 years ago. What's going on? What you doing with the money, Cynthia? Huh? What you doing with the money, Cynthia? Because you making thousands upon thousands sacrificing me. I don't get on here and talk about women. And when y'all ever seen me make a post, if I ever make a post and I'm reprimanding women, one thing you ever notice, and you go about look right fucking now if you want to. One thing you'll always notice, I never put a cash slap link on it. So I don't want to make fun of you about that. If it's somebody that died, you'll notice I never have a cash link under it because I don't want to make money off somebody's death. You are speaking so much truth. I don't know where these females are going with the black male back. I don't know where they're going either. Because the only thing you're doing is you're widening. Listen, I sit here and acknowledge the fact that there are definitely issues that need to be, some of them are social, some of them are financial, some are otherwise. A lot of women got to understand, yeah, they let y'all in the door a little bit more so than the men. Even if it's, if you go to a location and say it's all black staff or all Latin staff or whatever, the majority of the staff is going to be females. They're easier to navigate. You understand what I'm saying? Most employees know that. Most people that are outside the female gender speak on this all the time. It's just females are not in most of the time because people's reluctance to say it in front of them. But I've had this conversation 1,000,001 fucking times. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they hired 15 women. You know why? Them bitches gonna be here an hour before the job start. More power to them. The point is, a woman only makes 67 cents in this country compared to a white man. And a white man makes 99 cents to that same dollar that a white man makes. And a Latin man makes 72 cents to that dollar that white man makes. Now, if you don't believe, you can go to I would encourage you to go to the CDC. You can also go to the Department of Labor, and all the things I just said right there, it'll be listed for you. Okay, so we'll including the statures and everything else from city to city that they guys under as far as these are coming to fruition. So 67 cents, 72 cents. The other one is 99 cents, and the other one is $1. So that means I makes less than a white man, but almost equate to a white man. The other thing is, majority of women that are in the workforce are in labor positions, okay? A lot of those labor positions are why you're seeing such a high rash of unemployment between Black and Latin women specifically in this country, because they make up the majority of that blue collar, if you want to say, some people will call it industrial, some people will call it the blue collar workforce, but the service workforce, basically. This would include anything that's service. That would include nursing, that would include hospitality, that would include, because a lot of women, they, for some reason or another, confuse being a nurse. My mother was a nurse, okay? LPN, RN, licensed practitioner, so on and so forth. A lot of these women, when they get these jobs as nurses, they think they're in a professional field. Being a nurse is not a professional. Being a doctor is a professional. Being a practitioner is a professional. But being this LPN, that's not a professional. You're not even listed as a professional. And any of y'all that is telling the truth, and you look at your, not only your what's the name, because I hate to berate people, but if you look at the detail, you'll see in technical scope, you're not. You know what I mean? Those two professions. And the reason they do that, and they have different segments of that, I believe, is to keep a tier. You understand what I'm saying? And to have the workers strive for more. But when I said that doesn't make sense to you, what it means is, Cynthia G, you ain't at that tier. Do y'all see the girl on that picture? How many of y'all will walk into the club, right? And some of y'all would, depending on how you look. How many of y'all walk in the club and y'all be like, I want that one? Very few. You look auntie-ish. You look semi over the hill. You got a side baby by a gangster. Yet you call them men dusty. Men that are more accomplished than you. Hell, I'm more accomplished than you if you want to talk about workforce history. Bitch, I work for a record label. You work for white folks. I work for a Black record label. You work for white folks. You got the pictures of you, multiple pictures of you hugged up and shirked up next to white men early on in your career. You were kicking ass, and now you're calling out the same people, but you worked for a white company. I worked for a black and Latin company. It's a big difference. So your work labor diatribe, your work labor went to the infrastructure of a white company for how many years? Then you got fired from that and went to I believe it was a cable company, which also wasn't a black company. And your money attributed to their financial status, how? Bitch, you sound like a hypocrite. And that's why I keep calling you bitches and cunts and everything else, because you went out of your way to demise hardworking men, men that actually have fucking history and have shit they can write on their resume. You understand what I'm saying? You disrespect every last one of those men. And more importantly enough, you disrespect the very men that put your bitch ass in place, which was Dr. Boyce Watkins. He put you in your place. He put you up on your pedestal. Say what you want to about the man, however you feel about this shit. I don't care. But make no mistake about it. Nobody knew who the fuck Cynthia G was until she got with motherfucking Boyce Watkins. I put my mama on that. I knew the first time I seen that bitch, I was like, I don't like this bitch. You're a nasty, nasty fucking cunt. Yes, you are. And you're hurt. And what you do is you're putting men in danger by your words. And you're going to end up with a house full of cats. You're going to end up by yourself. And you'll most likely die by yourself, bitch. And I think most people will fucking laugh when you do. Because you have not spent your time here on earth trying to help people. You spent your time on earth trying to attack people and trying to be the biggest witch that you possibly can. And this is the same reason you see Wendy Williams crumbling right in front of your eyes. She said her island uncle. Entonces sabe, claro, mujer, claro, tú sabes, esa es mío, tú sabes, pero mi boca, you know? Respetando la mujer, but fuck that. Sometimes you gotta go in. Esta puta sucia aquí. Porca, puta sucia. I'll tell you about this. A lot of these women ain't gonna get married. It is what it is. A lot of these women ain't gonna never have no husbands. You ain't gonna never have no motherfucking family. None of that shit. You ain't built for that. You know what I'm saying? How you know God ain't put you here on earth just to bake biscuits and make everybody else happy with your biscuits? Your biscuits were responsible for their marriage. She's not only putting negative energy out to her own, but she's creating a space. And that's what I try to keep telling you guys. When these women are online and they're doing these videos, you can even look at their comment section that you're seeing. These are people that are filtering in. She even mentions this in the video. If you watch the videos in the description box, she even mentions this shit in the video where she says the same thing. She makes up, I think she makes up somebody saying they came in and they had whatever to say. You know, people do shit like that. I don't know why. You know, like my shit, like I say, I always pin myself specifically on if people can reference shit. That's why I put up videos and I do certain shit. People won't understand why I put the video up. I say, because I know that this might come up in the question. I don't want it to ever come up in the question. Yo, where the donation money? Here, nigga, you seen the videos I put up for it. I don't want no other questions. And speaking of that, $STRINGERBELL 80 at Stringer Bell 80 on Cash App. It's also PayPal link in the description box. I am not monetized on YouTube, so I had to update that and write that. I've tried 5 times because I curse and shit, and probably because of, you know, I don't fit the cookie cutter, you know, commercial that you usually get. You know, hi. Want to take Cialis? And then that way you can stop your irritable bowel syndrome and end up bleeding from your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? After effects may include runny ass, sniffy nose, and blood from eyeballs. But that erectile dysfunction is all right. It's okay. I'm fucking Dracula. Or Dracula's daughter, you know. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, a lot of these women gotta understand you're just not marriage material. And a lot of you guys gotta understand you're just not marriage material. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of women look at you and they be like, oh, you know what? I fear the fact of having a baby by that motherfucker and how it may look. And then enough money to y'all had that little Frankenstein looking motherfucker. I want to. And a little Quasimodo looking ass baby. Y'all women know what I'm talking about. A lot of women don't want to have their babies. I got a video. I'm gonna put it up later. This woman explains, I didn't want to have a baby. This baby was gonna come out ugly. I knew this baby was gonna come out ugly. Y'all ever seen that video? And she holding it. I think she's at the park or something. The baby got real big eyes. Tell me if any of y'all seen that video. And she holding the baby. She said, I knew you was gonna come out looking like your daddy. She was choking the baby. And it was funny, but it wasn't funny. I was like, damn, this is what women say in secret. Just like I was trying to tell you what a lot of guys say in secret. She's putting black, but she's putting a lot of people in danger, man, by this whole word because other people see what she's saying. It's not just people that are her subscribers, it's randoms. You got 83,000 followers. You're popular, you're in the stream, you don't have millions, but you have enough. And it stands as no guess that a lot of these women actually agree with her, wouldn't you say? A lot of these women actually agree with her. That's the scary thing about it. Because that means your dating choices possibly have come to the diatribe of Cynthia G somewhere or another. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta look for those markers. I look for markers now from chicks because see, a lot of chicks are influenced by social media influencers. You know what I mean? Including myself. You know, I try to be on the good end of it. I got thousands of followers. You know what I'm saying? As y'all can see, thousands upon thousands now. So it's like I gotta make sure that what I see on here, it can't be the same as I would say when I had 1,500 followers. That makes sense? Or 2,000 followers. I can't say the same shit. I got more of a responsibility now. And not only do I have a responsibility to that, I have a responsibility to show people where cash apps go, where PayPal donations go, you know, where we at with sales on the music. We trying to get to 3K sales on my single, y'all. And I got all these thousands of followers. We should be able to do it. So purchase that single, man, for real. Wait for your download after you purchase on PayPal, right? Make sure y'all purchase that single. I think we do 3K singles. I know we can do it. So y'all make sure y'all go cop that. I need y'all help with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to prove something to somebody. So if y'all really fuck with me, go buy that single. And I think by Christmas, we can have 3K sold. I'm saying before Christmas. Fuck that. My followers are better. I think we can do it on December 15th. That's how amped I am about it. 24 hours to live. Go purchase a single. Wait for your download link. I can do your purchase. See, I don't just do Cash App, whatever. I got something to sell. I got some clothes coming too. I just been working on the designs and I've been telling that whatever. But I took a month or so before I even launched my song. So if I say I'm doing it, I'm doing it. So Gustavo, which is the clothing line, that'll be next too. So I like to give people something to buy this, that donate. But for right now, if y'all can donate or buy the single, a lot of women and men are now online and they are bashing each other like it's World War III. This happens in a white society. This happens in Latin society, especially with the Latinx versus real Latinos. I don't like Latinx motherfuckers. I like Latinos. Big difference. I don't like that Latinx. Hi, my name is Nelson Rodriguez. Oh my God, yeah. You know, that let me pretend like I'm a white person, but I grew up in fucking Puerto Rico in the Bronx. That shit's always weird to me. You know, do what you gotta do, brother. I understand. But you gotta learn how to work it where you can be yourself at your job and still be professional. Because I've watched Latinos do that for fucking years. Okay. That's why I said it's between Latinos and this Latinx bullshit. I don't like that Latinx bullshit. Latinx spends a lot of time making fun of new wave immigrants that just immigrated here, depending on what country they're from, if y'all don't know that shit, especially the women. So like say you from Ecuador, you from Peru or El Salvador, whatever, they got jokes and shit like that for them, or they got a certain way they want to categorize them or treat them, or politically try to subject them and put them in like little certain corners or whatever. Be like, no, we'll speak for you. Don't worry about it. And the first thing that come out their mouth, and tú sabes inglés. And if you don't know English, they already box you in the corner. That's how motherfucking Latinx is no different. Latinx is like a combination of white America and black America and Latin America wrapped into a confused motherfucker. That's Latinx. It's not a generation of people. It's a fucking movement of libertarianism and false liberal views. You understand? Most Latinos are conservatives, not fucking liberals. Anyway, long story short, I'm gonna end it off with the Cynthia G shit because I'm getting this bitch a little bit too much time that she's worth. But that's cool though. Because every now and then you gotta talk about this fucking cunt like this. Cynthia G and men that are like Cynthia G, they do the same thing as Cynthia G, except they do it with a different motherfucking perspective and gender. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about y'all punk pussy asses too. Because y'all a bunch of sissy motherfuckers. You sissy bitch motherfuckers. If you spending the entire time of your lives or your uploads or whatever, just being quite honestly this despicable motherfucker towards your own, when there's so much other shit. I talk about Ghislaine or whatever her name is that was helping Epstein bring little young ass girls right up on Fifth Avenue. I used to walk past the house. I told y'all this. I give him a big uncle on the phone right now. He'll tell you we live right there on Fifth Avenue. All right. He had a place that was rent stabilized at the time, and it was right on Fifth Avenue. So I walked past that house. You understand what I'm saying? That mansion, I thought it was a store because there's a lot of stores up there on Fifth Avenue. Some of them are going now, but there's like Jesus Christ. There's Gucci's there. Speaking of that, that's right next to what's the name? Trump Tower. You know what I'm saying? On 55th. So it's like, for me, when I see women jump online and argue about why men this, my men that, why men this, chick, it might just fucking be you. Have you ever looked at the fact that you got 3 side babies, 3 different fathers, and none of them motherfuckers stayed with you? And then you got to start being a little bit more honest, okay? Some of you, your mothers taught you this about women. I'm going to teach you again, all right? Because you ain't never heard it from a man. Start being straight up with some of these girls. If you don't think she's that fucking pretty, you ain't got to tell her I don't think you're that fucking pretty. But tell her something like, look, listen, I don't see no future with us. You know what I mean? Or better yet, don't even step to her in the first place if you just think she's okay looking. Because that means she's not for you. She's not for you. You might be blocking her from somebody else. And by the time she figures out she's now 45, 50, 55 fucking years old, she's a tavern auntie now. You know, tavern auntie. Tavern auntie is the one that's got a whiskey in her hand. It's like the, yeah, bitch. Tavern auntie. You know what I mean? So now she's tavern auntie and she's out there and she's no better than a slide. That's it. That's the area Cynthia G is in. Ain't nobody at this point gonna marry Cynthia G but a motherfucking simp. You know what I mean by simp? There's a simp, double simp, and then the super simp. The simp is a motherfucker that was raised all by women, only had auntie and grandma and all them by him all his life. And that's all he knows. The unfortunate simp. I can deal with the unfortunate simp because he don't know no better. Then there's the double simp. The double simp is the motherfucker that knows better than all that shit, but continues to do it any fucking way, just because of pure simple fact. He thinks that the comment section is actually a fucking dating site, and he appears to be in good standing with the sisters. Those ain't no sisters. Those are fucking whores and undesirables, bro. The sisters be over here in my channel. Factory. You know what I'm saying? Black and Latin alike to come in. The third and most dangerous is a super simp. Oh, this is a con artist. Oh, the con artist. Y'all know about the con artist? Let me tell you ladies about something why y'all been being tricked out of y'all panties for years. And there been some good men that have come by you and try to tell you about these motherfuckers. But for some reason or another, you think you know men better than we know men as men. Because many of y'all are single mothers, 2 men, and y'all think y'all have everything. No, all men are different. All men, what happened in your house with your son ain't what happened in Miss Gloria's house with her son. Ain't what happened in Miss Martinez's house with her son. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't what Miss Chan and what happened in her son. But men, we unilaterally know the similarities and the differences between us. Oh, we know. Oh, we know. We know. And I know when a motherfucker's a cocksucker. I know when a motherfucker's an asshole. I know when a motherfucker's a sissy. I know when a motherfucker's a whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? And I know it quickly. I lived in New York City. And there you got to learn how to, I don't want to say judge. Yeah, fuck it. Judge somebody. That's a good word. Judge. I have to learn how to judge somebody within 15 to 20 seconds. If I can't figure out, I give you the luxury of 30. But that's usually it. Never have I found it so easy to pinpoint who somebody was and watching Cynthia G or a couple other motherfuckers, both male and female, that's doing this bullshit. Now, ladies, let me get dressed up. Ladies, you hopping up online and talking about how much you hate men and trying to change them for doing shit. Like, that's shit that happened in your house. Let me break that down real quick before I leave. Motherfuckers to get on and they try to bash you into an opinion or bash you into an atmosphere or bash you into now agreeing with them or whatever. Most of the time, not all the time, but sometimes it's just people that's frustrated because I've vented like this myself. But if you have a consistency of doing this shit all the fucking time, studies suggest that bitch you a fraud. And you're trying to sell us and plant us a narrative that's based on what you believe is to be reality for all. See, there's a lot of that shit that goes on. And I have to explain that real quickly for y'all. A lot of these motherfuckers that are within the culture, both black and Latin, feel that the same results that they have seen or the same results that they have gotten, well, they don't apply to you as somebody with that aspiration, with that ambition. They don't look at you as like that. A lot of these motherfuckers, they don't look at anybody in their own culture like that. This is both black and Latin. They have to have no more inspiration than white inspiration on a daily basis. But when you look at white society and culture as a whole, all across the world, the United States is fucking hated right now. So I don't know what you're aspiring to be. You're more better off aspiring to be somebody in Europe. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know. You aspire to be these personalities and these women that you've seen on TV since My Little Pony, My Little Pony. A lot of you little girls are still running around with My Little Pony underwear on the t-shirt. Now I know that shit. I grew up with a lot of girl cousins and sisters. You motherfuckers got to start understanding that no matter how much you jump online and bash men of color, if you think the results are these men are going to start jumping in line at bulk, I'm not talking, of course, it's going to be the super simp, the simp, and the double simp, and I'm talking about at bulk. If you think collectively these men are just, let me save you. Hold on, where's my cape? If you think these men are going to save you, you got another thing coming. These men are going to use you. And you're making yourself more vulnerable for using, because I saw something, and I had to talk about this. There's a lot of men that are out here online, and they are predatory as far as a lot of these girls and their channels. And that's what I believe happened to Cynthia G. I think Cynthia G was preyed on. She was challenged, and she failed the challenge. And she could succumb to lust. Because that baby came out of lust. That was no love in that shit. You can look at the way they set it up and they hooked up. No love in that shit. That was fucking. Go for what it is. She fucked and got pregnant. You fucking whore. Only a whore would do something like that. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Certain things happen, and there's possibilities things could happen. But this woman's a whore. And she's a hypocrite, too, because you're talking about guys with color, and then you turn around and get pregnant and have a side baby by one that's already got 4 and 3 different mothers. Am I missing something here? Am I fucking up? I mean, just let me know. Let me know. Ladies, if you got groups of these women that are doing this online, and they're doing it particularly on YouTube, Facebook, and the other one is Instagram. You know, Kevin Samuels is a fraud, don't you know? He's got a group on Facebook. I was part of it for a minute. That fraud motherfucker, whoever runs that fraud shit, that shit ain't nothing but a women's group. That's all that shit is. It's a women's group. It's a women's group, and the women run the shit. Kevin Samuels is a fucking fraud. All right. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you got a problem with me, come check me, Kevin Samuels. I'll put you in your fucking face. What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, the dude's a fucking fraud. I think he was a fraud all from the beginning. I think he's a simp because he's one of the main faces that gets out here and points out, oh, woman, you're a 4, or you're a 5, or you're a 6, or whatever the fuck case may be, or whatever. And he's got these loopy ass bitches then hopping offline, and they go out into society really believing that shit. So the hatred they already had for themselves, they now has been amplified because something this goofy ass fucking ex-nerd said. Y'all ain't never seen the earlier video. This motherfucker's a nerd. He's a nerd. You wasn't hanging with us. Like, check this out, right? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, Kevin Samuels would have been buying our fucking school lunch. All right? We would have slept. Get the fuck out of here. Where the fuck are you going, Kev? Hey, Kevy, where you going? What you got on a fucking lunch, you pussy? That's what we would have addressed him as, okay? That's what he looks like. That's how he talked. Go look at his earlier videos. So how dare you sit up there and some of the women, they deserved it. They called up. They wanted to be berated. I mean, some women get off on that, I guess. Some men too. But the point is, you made these women that were already doing these videos double up. And now you turn around and you actually interviewing whores. There were so many girls that you interviewed that you gave them the 4, the 5, or the 6 number or whatever. You could have propelled those chicks into an atmosphere. Instead, you go get a whore that then fucked every rapper, that fucked every basketball player, got a side baby, and you got this bitch sitting up next to you. I ain't trust you no more after that. I said, this nigga a sucker. And now he's got other women out here that think it's okay now. Oh, he's fine now. He got Brittany Winter. You did that to get the girls off your back. That's why you did that, you punk motherfucker. You a punk. You did that. You brought Brittany Renner on your show and you started promoting her for the fact that you didn't want women coming to your channel anymore, or them trying to build up change.org campaigns to get rid of you or whatever. You succumb to the pressure and you don't want the public to know. Therefore, I look at you as a pussy. You're a pussy and you're a punk, and you gave fuel to a lot of these women. They had these diatribes already. And you think that you're going to slam your money and just slide out real sneakily. Motherfucker will rob your ass. Fact. You know what I mean? That nigga's a pussy, man. I don't like that guy. Kevin Samuels. He's a straight punk. Tell him I said it. You're a punk. Because you gave fuel to these women by sitting there and berating them on motherfucking camera. And I think you did that whole run as you didn't want to get any type of social experiment results out of it. What you wanted to do was you wanted to berate those women because you knew the attention calling they were doing. And there was already calls already on you where people were saying, well, he got women calling there on purpose. I know the other trick. That's why I don't have we call that thing, super chats thing, because people know, you know what I'm saying? Now there's other people. I said this shit 6 months ago. Everybody was like, what you talking about? Because there was this one chick used to be on my channel. She's like, won't you just sign up for this site or whatever? What I said, that site fucked my phone up. Oh, well, that's the only way I'm donating if you sign up. Well, fuck you then, bitch. Get the fuck off my channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with you about what you gonna do, what you got gonna do, but the demo, that was the name of it. You know what I mean? All these different sites and shit like that. This nigga collected his money, and now he's about to bounce. In another year, y'all ain't gonna see Kevin Samuels no more. Trust me. Y'all ain't gonna see Kevin Samuels no more. He duped y'all. You know what I mean? He knew exactly what he was doing. And there was people that were donating to the cash, what's that thing called? The super chats. And like most people don't know the system of the super chats. The super chats, you can only take that money out once a month. They send you what's the name for it and allot it to your account. It's only once a month. Anytime between that month, if somebody feels like, yo, I want my money back, like I ain't want to give this nigga $200, I ain't want to give this person $300 or whatever the case may be, they can snatch that money right back. If you have a dispute, that dispute can take you months to get eradicated, whatever. That's why I don't deal with that shit. And more importantly enough, these motherfuckers take 20% of everything you take in. So you give me $20, you might as well just give me 18. You know what I'm saying? I can't make this shit up. So hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal if y'all doing that for me. Or y'all can just continue to support Super Simps and bitches to get online and bash men and shit like that. You know, that's what y'all cup of tea are. That's what y'all prefer. Because the way I look at most Black and Latin culture, anyway, it's so saturated ghetto shit. You can't even really say anything reasonable to a majority of a certain set of age range of motherfuckers because they're just not going to convey what you're saying. They're so caught up in a key and a ha and who fucking who or whatever. It could be a fucking nuclear bomb show up tomorrow. They wouldn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Where you at the Gucci store? Yo, there's a bomb coming. Oh, word. We be all right. You know, so it's not bashing people of colors is what it is. Attention spans of Black and Latin people are nothing but saturated in the ghetto shit. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And it's sad. It's really sad. I got to point out social issues like this because I'm a man of color and I walk on the street every day and I can't have, it's already rough enough, but I can't have a bitch like Cynthia G putting out shit out there to add extra juice to it. You know what I'm saying? Which I ain't got to put my hands on you, but I know some people that will. You know what I mean? Leave it like that. So if you ever got something to say to me, make sure you say it once a good time. Make sure there's some Mark Twain shit you put up in there when you write it. You know what I'm saying? And recite it. I'm coming, bitch. But yeah, I just I don't like Cynthia G. I don't like women that's like Cynthia G. I think women that are like her, I think it should be more emphasis put towards YouTube and fucking Google getting these hateful motherfuckers out of here. And I'm going to tell you exactly what they fall under. They fall under sexual bashing, okay? Sexual innuendos. And I'm not talking about sexual, I'm talking about sexual as far as gender. They're making concise theories and conclusions based upon their presumptions, their assumptions, their hurt, and whatever. And they are putting them together and piecing them together, and they are putting them on your platform, and you are allowing for it day after day after day after day to resonate. There's no free speech that protects social media. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, right? The parameters around free speech do not apply to online. I'll say that for you again. And this is a federal law if you need to look it up. The Freedom of Speech Act that is signed since 17 something, whatever, in the Bill of Rights is not inclusive online. That's why a motherfucker can get their page taken for saying simple shit. Like you saw with the example of what's this guy's name in Secret Space and all that shit. Alex Jones. Same thing that happened with Minister Farrakhan. Same thing that happened with now you just saw young NBA young boy. Same thing that happened with the dude that did the Brandon song. Same thing. These guys get removed because there's no protection for them for freedom of speech. So I then have to ask the question, raise the question again. If that is the case, and you were taking people like that off the line, why is this bitch able to say what the fuck she want to say every day? I gotta ask Google that. I'm not asking YouTube that. I'm asking Google that. I don't want to talk to the soldiers. I want to talk to the boss. I'm asking the boss that. Why is it that this woman and women like her are allowed to have the diatribes that they have every day, allowed to make thousands upon thousands of dollars off their diatribes, and nothing is done to them, and they get to walk off with a cha-ching cash out sign? You got to make some light of that, Google. You got to make me understand. I got somebody I'm gonna call and I'm gonna talk to them about that today because I think that's something that needs to be stuck out here. Why are these girls able to put these nefarious, insidious fucking channels up, and the guys too, and not see any repercussions? They're not removed, nothing. They're not even. I've not even seen one of these girls get a copyright strike. I threw up a video about what's this guy's name, Lil Uzi Vert, right? Within 4 minutes, that shit had a copyright claim on it. I said, so a couple of y'all saw that video. That's why I took it down because it had a copyright claim on it. That could be from a litany of different places I've now learned. It could be because I included some portion of something that somebody had linked with whatever, and they prioritized that's particular show, whatever. So that might have thrown it is many of different things. So I took it down, right? Y'all got somebody for that every 5 fucking minutes, but y'all ain't got somebody for these bitches and these punk sissy motherfuckers that are up online every day bashing men and women. These motherfuckers are a problem. She's an agent funded by an organization called Abundance of Hope. Yeah, I've heard about her ties and all that and shit or whatever. I ain't even talking about who she got ties to. Fuck them too. Abundance of hope, whatever. Fuck y'all niggas. I ain't even worried about her being attached to her because it's more than just her. See, if she go away, there's gonna be 2 to 3 more to replace her. You get what I'm saying? Like after we get rid of her, you have to get rid of Crystal Karazine. You have to get rid. There's literally, I'm gonna say, in my knowledge, at least 40 plus women that's doing the same diatribe, and they are making thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, I'm over here struggling, and I was formerly homeless until 2 months ago. Shit makes no sense to me. That's one thing I liked about what she said in her video, though. I will give her that. She said, you going most of the guys that are online that are getting supported through cash apps and all that stuff and everything like that, most of them supported by women. I will say that because most of the women people that support me are women. I've had some men to support too, don't get me wrong, but they like outside the TMH Global, it's just people that like men school. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate all of it. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, 5, 10, 20, $30, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's always a women that's in significant amounts of like 100 or better every time. The men will send $5, $10, whatever, whatever. They really, some care, but most of the majority of them, they don't give a shit. They just, it is what it is. They just want to be seen. And some of them are real. And some of them, that's all they got. And I appreciate that. That's why I say I ain't about to diss a motherfucker for that. But these women are able to catch in thousands and thousands of dollars hating their own men. Meanwhile, they're saying that we hate them. Make sense of it, Sway. If y'all don't get that, I don't know what to tell you. I'll send in and I'll end it at this because I got to get out of here. And I'm going to talk more about women like this online because I think I'm not trying to take over the premise because this is Red Supreme space, definitely. He definitely knows way more about this stuff than I do. So go check out Red Supreme TV 1 and 2. Subscribe to that, share his shit, all that. But I'm going to definitely talk about it from my perspective because, you always need one extra horse. Guys, links are in the description box. Make sure you go and check it out. $STRINGERBELL80. That's Streakerbell 80 on the Cash App. There's also a PayPal link in the description box. Also be one in the pinned comment. Also, please purchase my song. We go get the 3K sales before Christmas. I know it, and I need y'all support. So please, I've got more than enough. I've got 3 times that to cover that. So please purchase a single, which is also in the description box. Also be in the pinned comment. Make sure you click where it says more so the rest of it will open up. Now, with my ending here, I just want to say this. We're not going to change Crystal Karazine. We're not going to change Cynthia G. We're not going to change Paris Milan, Nick and Knight. I think she actually has a redemption value. But the rest of these motherfucking bitches, the rest of you bitches that continue to do this shit, and the rest of you sissy, punk ass mama's boys that do the same. Oh, you bitch niggas, you. Why don't all you motherfuckers just get on the boat and go to that island? Let us douse it in gasoline and let the good Lord do his work with a match. That way we can get rid of all of you. You're worthless. You don't contribute. And you further the demise and separation of folks. You're not an asset. You're an opportunist. There's a difference between an opportunist and somebody that's in need. You're an opportunist, and anytime you find an opportunity to take, not only from the people. Let me ask you this question. Cynthia G, you've been online for about 7 years taking cash apps. Yet you questioned $20 million that Virgil Abloh left behind to his wife and said that another one bites the dust. In other words, referring to this man as a dusty. This man's worth $20 million. You're not worth $20 million. You've never been worth $20 million and probably never will be worth $20 million. So your actual confusion is the fact of how did this woman make this man become a husband? And if you say this man is unattractive, if you say you thought this man was a gay man, why have him on your channel? Why take the opportunity to talk about the man and bash him any fucking way that you can upon his death? Well, this man has not done anything to anybody that I can recall. I didn't hear anything about him killing anybody. I didn't hear anything about him shooting at the latest rapper. I didn't hear anything about him robbing anybody or taking from an old woman or anything else like that. And as a matter of fact, Virgil Abloh, based on the companies he was connected to, seemed like a solid fucking citizen. And based on what his wife had to say about him, and like I said, once again, how dare you, you fucking cunt, sit there and make fun of somebody when they got a fucking grieving wife right there, 3 kids, you fucking evil cunt bitch. Somebody should hold your head under a fucking waterfall for saying some shit like that. You're an evil fucking bitch for saying some shit like that. And you're gonna get yours. Trust me. You're gonna get yours. Something's gonna come and hit you. Listen, something's gonna happen to you. Trust me. You don't make fun of people. That man wasn't a bad man. If he was an evil man, if this was Harvey Weinstein we were talking about, we wouldn't even be making this podcast. If this was Epstein we were talking about, we wouldn't even be making this podcast. And I checked your fucking videos, and you ain't got shit on them. You ain't got shit on them. You got one video on these motherfuckers. You know why? Because you strive to be them. You want to be them so bad, but your DNA and your facial makeup don't make it possible. And that's what really birds you. See, you ugly from inside and out. Always been ugly. You was probably that little bitch that used to steal people's toys and shit when you was a kid. You know what I mean? You've always been a worthless, cantankerous, high school sounded ass bitch. Because that's what you sound like. You sound, a lot of these women, you know they ain't grown up when they 30, 40, 50 years old. And these bitches still got using the same octave as a 15 and 16-year-old girl. That shit actually kind of scares me, to be quite honest with you. But I digress. Anybody that thinks like Crystal Carazine, anybody that thinks like Cynthia G, well, quite frankly, you could fall down a rabbit hole and hopefully that rabbit hole doesn't have any ending. That's the best way I can say it about these cantankerous cunts and the sissy ass men that do the same shit. To you men, listen, I know your mama was a nut. I know your mama probably didn't want no kids in the first place. Your mama spent a whole bunch of time as you was growing up at the club, getting dropped off. Beep, beep. Come on now, bitch. Your mama done spent a lot of times drunk and passed out on the sofa. Oh, these dicks come from? Yeah, we know. We know. We know. And now you're an adult and you look at these same attributes in a lot of women that you date, but what you really don't realize the same as a woman is the reason you are attracted to these motherfuckers is because it's familiar territory. Familiar territory. Dysfunction comes from Cynthia G. Dysfunction comes from most of these women. That's the one common denominator they do have in common. And knowing these guys have picked it out, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. These bitches are in depression states. Y'all arguing and complaining with bitches as it could just pressure states and have no retribution. There's no retribution. If a woman says on the day after a motherfucker died that this another one that bites the dust, I ain't heard clan members say shit like that. I've never heard clan members say some shit like that. So y'all keep putting your faith, keep putting your dollars. The almighty dizzy Black and Latin culture, because that's what most of you motherfuckers are, dumb, slow, and dizzy. It takes you years to get shit. Sometimes it should take you seconds. Yeah, I said it. This is one of those particular reasons. If you really were in unison and you really were together as much as you would be able to have the ability to go tell 15 people, go tell 15 to 20 more people to unsubscribe from that channel. But you know, because you'd rather compete with each other, which is another one. Guys, I'll be back up on here later. Talk to you a little bit more. If you'd like to, I would hope you would. Make sure you hit the Cash App at $STRINGERBELL80. Also, there's PayPal link in the description box. Also, there's a trailer for my song, and also there's a purchase link for my song. Recorded at Daddy's House Recording Studio in New York City by Flames Flow at Puff's now gone studio, unfortunately. But you know, pandemic and times and all that shit changed things. So anyway, make sure y'all pick up the single 24 Hours to Live Redux 2021. Get that right now if you can. I would appreciate it. We're trying to get 3,000 in sales, and I think we can do it very easily. I'm trying to prove something to somebody that I have some work. So if you can't do anything else and don't donate, at least buy the single. It's cheap. Purchase it. Wait for your download. It'll be right there. Click that second link and your download will start. Also, if you don't know where to find these links, look at that little upside down triangle right under the description. Click that. And then when you see more at the end of the sentence, hit that. Same thing in the pinned comment. All right. Other than that, I'm out of here. I just want to say one time again, Cynthia G, fuck you. If you don't like it, come do something about it. Second of all, I want to say any simp motherfucker that's out there that's extremely too deep in that big towel, I hate women shit. Keep your saucy, flossy, spicy ass over there. We don't hang with you. Hey, girl. And I'm out, y'all later.